Hello students, welcome to this module on refrigeration and air conditioning. In this session, we are going to know about servicing of natural draft, forced draft and induced draft cooling tower. Servicing natural draft, forced draft and induced draft cooling towers is essential for maintaining optimal heat exchange efficiency. This involves inspecting and cleaning fill materials, checking fan blades, lubricating moving parts, and ensuring proper water distribution.
Objectives. The objective of servicing natural draft, forced draft, and induced draft cooling towers is to ensure optimal heat dissipation in industrial processes by maintaining peak efficiency. By the end of this exercise, you will be able to identify the parts of natural draft cooling tower, service natural draft cooling tower, identify the parts of forced draft cooling tower, service forced draft cooling tower, identify induced draft cooling tower, service induced draft cooling tower. Let us now take a look at the tools, equipments and consumables needed for servicing of natural draft, forced draft and induced draft cooling towers. Chisel 150 mm, wire brush 250 mm, pipe wrench 150 mm, combination plier 150 mm, double end spanner, adjustable wrench, screwdriver, ball peen hammer, commercial refrigeration or air conditioning plant using natural draft, forced draft and induced draft cooling tower, color paints as required, anti-corrosive paint as required, wire brush, painting brush, clean cloth GI sheet bits as required, shovel and bond as required, kerosene oil as required, air blower 1 set. Now let us see the preparations needed for servicing of natural draft, forced draft and induced draft cooling tower. Identify the parts of natural draft cooling tower. Follow the necessary safety protocol. Wear safety gadget before assessing the cooling tower. Stop the plant. Close water line valves. Observe the parts in the water circulation system. Observe the parts of the cooling tower and record it in Table 1. Service natural draft cooling tower. Check the water spray. Open the inlet and out valve. Energize the water circulating pump. Observe the water spray through nozzles. Repeat the procedure till it gets cleaned. Clean each louvers with cloth. Clean in spray nozzles. Clean the louvers. Spray forced water on each louvers. Rub with a brush having hard bristles. Again spray with forced water. Repeat the procedure till it gets cleaned. Clean each louvers with cloth. Clean the water tank. Stop the water pump. Drain out reservoir water by opening the drain valve. Clean the entire reservoir tank with metallic wall scraper. Collect all the waste including algae in a tray and dispose of it in a dustbin. Clean reservoir with fresh forced water. Make diluted caustic soda solution and splash it. Allow 20 minutes react with algae. Wash with forced water. Allow it to dry. Check the service water makeup arrangement. Check water levels. Stop the water circulation pump. Ensure that the water tank is filled with water. Open drain line valve of cooling tower tank. Observe the free movement of floats. Open the water makeup line valve. Observe that enough water is coming through the float valve. Close the drain line valve. Observe the water level of tank. Observe whether water flow from the makeup line stops when the level of the reservoir reaches the maximum. Identify the parts of forced draft cooling tower. Identify the parts of forced draft. After identification, list the parts and enter into Table 2. Service forced draft cooling tower. Switch off the refrigeration plant. Close the water lines of the cooling tower. Switch off the water circulating pump. Off the cooling tower fan. Dismantle fan. Water pump. Float valve. Wire brush. Strainer. Eliminator. Spray nozzles. Clean the spray nozzles and water tank. Clean the water tank by using brush, cloth and flush with water. Clean the spray nozzles. Clean the float valve. Clean the eliminators. Clean the fan, motor and lubricate. Clean the water circulating pump. Service the water pump. Clean the impeller. Adjust the float valve. Check the operation of the float valve. Check the water level in the water tank. Adjust the float valve if necessary to maintain the water level in the water tank. Identify the parts of induced draft cooling. Identify the parts of the induced draft cooling tower. lists the parts of entered into the table 3. Service induced draft cooling tower. Dismantle the induced draft cooling tower. Switch off the refrigeration plant. Clean the spray nozzles and water tank. Close the water lines of the cooling tower. Adjust the float valve. Switch off the water circulating pump.
Efficient servicing of natural draft, forced draft, and induced draft cooling towers involves thorough inspection, component maintenance, and issue resolution to optimize heat dissipation and prolong system longevity. In this topic, we came to know about how to identify the parts of natural draft cooling tower, service natural draft cooling tower, identify the parts of forced draft cooling tower, service forced draft cooling tower, identify induced draft cooling tower, service induced draft cooling tower. I hope you all understood the process of servicing the natural draft, forced draft, and induced draft cooling tower. Thank you, students, and let us meet in the next session. Bye.